welcome to a special select board meeting, and this one is a special meeting indeed. It is Monday, August 11th. It is 4:45, and here we are at the town office, and the agenda today, which I believe there will be no additions or deletions from this agenda, acceptance of the signed transfer documents for the high school building. If anybody really wanted to add anything onto this agenda, speak up now. It's hot, let's get it done. I'm going to start with a little statement that I wrote. Then we're going to hear a little something from Catherine, and then we'll actually transfer the documents. In 2017, I heard my calling to do my civic duty, aiding the town to obtain the high school building. Even I was taken aback by the hurdles that needed to be cleared on our way to this week. Numerous times I openly said there is no way this concept could work. But hurdle by hurdle, problems were cleared, and the determination of a dedicated team brought us to this week. As this day passes, I want to continue to hear from the opposition to keep a balance to the democratic process, as the opposition represents viable points as we go into the future. Rather thinking the closing of the high school is the beginning of the end of Rochester, thankfully there are those that believe it is a new birth and a new definition of Rochester. So thank you all that put something, heart, soul, money, sweat, and tears into it. Catherine.
I'm Catherine Schenkman, and my partner in all of this for 5.5 years has been Vic Ravato. And so many people right here in this room have been a part of the development of this project from back in February 2020, when we started with the Envision Rochester workshop, where priorities were identified and the school was one of them. And at the end of that meeting, it was recognized that, well, maybe all these priorities could go into the building. And so that became the basis of a proposal for the repurposing of the Rochester High School building. And we did all kinds of community engagement after that, focus groups and surveys, because we wanted this to be a community-based project, so community ownership of the results of the project. And we've been so helped by so many, starting with the Vermont Community Rural Development Council. We used the Envision Rochester, used their model for community engagement. Alicia Johnson was instrumental in helping us write our first grant for the feasibility study, which concluded in July 13th, 2022. And then from that point on, we kept going forward, trying to develop every component, writing grants. Our blessed Senator Bernie Sanders gave us our CDS earmark of $2,329,000, and we got that award in April or March of 2024. We've just recently got a Northern Borders Catalyst grant for an additional $1 million. We've had some very, very generous anonymous donations from community members, and here we stand today. All of this to come to this point, and I have to say, we couldn't have done it without Sarah Raitt of the Two Rivers Ottaquechee Regional Commission, who is our total guru on all things having to do with environmental assessments. We passed through the BRELA, which is the basically the brownfield remediation, which protects the town from any kind of liability once they purchase the building. Jump in whenever you want.
I will.
And then we passed through the floodplain and the floodway issues. We have launched a capital fund drive with our Walter being our leader there. I want to just do a shout out too to Jamie Kenarney, who has really become a partner of the Rochester Stockbridge Unified District, and of course our Selectboard, USDA, Northern Borders, and all the wonderful people who have given countless hours to this project, starting with our treasurer, our VHI treasurer, Leslie Strauss, and Sarah Martyr, our secretary, Walter Garleb, as I mentioned, Asha LaBeija, who is our facility manager, Andrew Fursh, and Pam Wright. Dick Robson, of course. I was getting to him, he's on the list. Our consulting architect, Robert Mayer, Drew Hudson right there, and Midge Scanlon was enormously helpful. She had to retire from the board, and Gabrielle Ostro also had to retire, but enormously helpful. Our advisors are Maureen Young, Jeff Gephardt, Michaela Richardson, Larry Strauss, and our beloved consulting architect, Dick Robson, who's basically leading this marvelous design project with WLA.
Yeah, I just want to thank one person. I think I speak for the rest of us who've been involved in this project, and that's you, Catherine. You have been amazing, energetic, hardworking, guiding light, and when we partnership on this process, and it's a roller coaster experience. There's ups, there's downs, and sometimes I'm down and she goes, come on. And sometimes she's down and goes, come on.
When I'm down, I get grumpy. He tolerates me. So back at you, Vic.
But it's been great, and we got more work to do in the future.
And Patty and the select board and Dune, how many times, we had to interact throughout the whole process. So, yeah, thank you all. We've come to this point, but it's just actually really a beginning, another beginning.
Yep.
Thank you.
So with that said, let's actually go through the formality to document this for evermore. Introduce yourself.
I'm Joshua Bigwitz, Stockbridge resident, and also on
On
the
the
ROS
RCD
board.
and-
I'm Robin B. Bowlong, and I'm representative of the school board also.
And you folks have some paperwork for us?
Yes, a resolution to convey.
A resolution to convey the property, which means the RSUD approves the process of transferring the property to the town.
We do.
We do. And this is your newly prepared deed.
And this is our newly prepared deed, which the seller prepares and hands off to the buyer. So this is the deed that says we own it, but when I take it out of your hands, I owe you money. Oh, look, Joe brought a dollar.
Who gets it? You or
So
Robin?
Dune, as a former selectman, Dune went through this process. And he spent many times whipping out a dollar saying, let's just do it and buy it right now.
That's
I had to
wonderful.
keep him in mind to say, yes, you are the one to finally present that dollar. So,
Bring it to the next meeting.
that said, the ownership of the building now is in the hands of the town. And I believe we even had our first rental with the camp last week, the theater camp. And so it was great to see children going in there, and it's great to see a performance. And so let the building continue thriving. It's going to take still lots more work, folks, but you roll up your sleeves and keep going because now it's tangible. Thank you.
Yay.
I hand this off to the clerk. And so, without any further business of this particular meeting, any further business, I move that we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.